Hello guys, welcome back to V3 Design and welcome back to a continuation of our class on web development. So today we're going to be discussing why use concatenation. Now in the previous class we discussed all about what concatenation is and we gave some practical examples. But for today we're going to discuss why do we need to make use of concatenation. Now this is because it is useful for creating dynamic messages and for combining different pieces of text easily. For instance, if you want to greet someone by name, right? If you want to greet someone by name, this example we gave here is a practical example of how to do that. All you have to do is just to give a variable and call it name, right? All you have to do is to give a variable and call the variable name, and then console.log hello plus that person's name. That way you can create personalized messages based on the user input or other variables. Do you understand, guys? So what do I mean? Let me just particularize this. Let's say for example, right, we want to greet, let me take this off. We have a website whereby whenever anyone fills in the form or logs in, their name will now concatenate their name plus hello. How do it? That will say let name is equal to, let's say you have a user and the user inputted that her name was Joy. All right, her name was Joy, of which you have Joy here in a string, Joy, and then we want to greet her. Let's say let's welcome greeting be equal to welcome to JavaScript Joy. So let's put that in a string and say welcome to JavaScript class Joy. You get? So guys, now what do we do? How do we actually make that print out? So what we do, we then say let's welcome greeting. We already have a variable named welcome greeting. Let's delete that from our code. Let's delete that. But I already deleted it. Okay, now let's call it input then. Okay, I already have input as a variable. Let's call it welcome alert. Good. Welcome alert. You can give this anything, guys. Just my own way of just giving them variable names. You can call it anything you want. So let's call the welcome alert to now be. Now what we want to print out is that when anyone logs into our website, the first thing they will see, like an alert, will be saying welcome to JavaScript class Joy. That's their name. If it is John, that is their name. Welcome to JavaScript class John. If it is happiness, welcome to JavaScript class happiness. If it is Alice, welcome to JavaScript class Alice. You get? So that's what we're trying to aim. So all by just writing this one line of code, we can address that problem no matter what the person's name is. Even if the person's name is Gabriella or any name we're not familiar with, as far as they are able to input their name, they are able to log in their name, the first thing they will see is that they will have a welcome address saying welcome to JavaScript class followed by their name. Now we will now come here. We've given a variable welcome alert, and then we are going to call welcome greeting, which is welcome to JavaScript. That's welcome greeting plus the name of the person. And they want it to be followed by an exclamation mark. So we then say as well plus exclamation mark, which will be in a string. That's simple. All right. And then let's console.log the welcome alert. You see, guys. Now let's actually console this on our browser. Let's put it in our browser. Control paste. Press enter. You see, guys. it has written welcome to JavaScript class Joy, but there's no space between the class and Joy. And how do we put space? So we'll come back to our code, and then we are going to change this. We're going to add a space, which we are going to add through a string. So after the name, we are going to add plus a string that will then put space in it. Now let's do that again now. Okay guys, sorry, I think I made a mistake. I'm supposed to put this string after the greeting, or between the greeting and the name. So let's just change that. Let's put that between, or that before the name, because welcome greeting is welcome to JavaScript class. Then after that we have the name. So let's put that space before the name. So let's put the space, then plus the name. Now let's copy and paste this again. Okay guys, now it has worked. So we're now having welcome to JavaScript class. So guys, this is just a recap of what I taught in the previous class about what concatenation is all about. So that is a basic example of why we use concatenation. Now there are different methods of string concatenation. There are different methods. Now we've been discussing how to make use of the plus, that's the operator plus, that's this operator plus. That was what now this particular plus is what is the concatenation operator plus. So now we are making use of the plus operator, but now we want to make it over another operator, of which is called the concat method. That is concat, concat method. So let's just write it in comments, guys. Let's just write the comments. So let's just say concatenation method. Concatenation method of which we have number one. Of which we have the number one to be the plus operator. That's plus operator, which we have been using since, right? And then number two is the concat method. Or let's just say dot concat method, right? So guys, like I said before, today we are discussing the concatenation method, right? Of which, since I've been explaining the first method of concatenation, which is the operator method. That is the plus or the addition method. And then the second type of method we have is what we call the concat method. Now let me just give you an example of how that is being used. Let me give you an example. So let's create a variable name, right? So let's create a variable name. Let's say part one. Let's call the variable name part one. Part one is equal to the string. Let's say hello, right? And then part two, let's variable name part two. Part two is equal to the string world, right? So why is it giving me error here? Why is it giving me an error? Could not find name part one. Did you mean part two? No, I just gave it part one as a variable name. Okay. and then let's then said let full greeting is equal to part 1 why is it giving me an error? Let's give it a different variable name. All right, let's call it um 1, and then let's call this one 2. All right, and then let's say let's full greeting is equals to 1 dot concat, then bracket, this comma cap 2. So I don't know why it's giving me, since that I've made use of. Okay. So I don't know why I'm still getting an error here. Expected a semicolon. That's correct. So I don't know why I'm having an error here though. Why this is in red, but I don't just know. This is a variable name, so it's not supposed to be giving me. Let me call it greeting 1. Greeting 1. Okay, oh this. Oh, I see why I'm getting an error because of that plus sign there. That was why I was getting an error. Okay. Okay, guys, let's continue from where we. I think I've just debugged the code. The reason why I was having an error was because there was a plus sign there. That was which I've removed, and then our code has come back to normal. So, guys, now looking at this particular code, guys. Now let's console it. Console.log. Console.log. Full greeting, right? And then semicolon. Okay, now you might be wondering what is happening here, guys. Now, first of all, we have a variable name called 1. You can see here, and this variable has a value hello, and then we have variable 2, which also have a value word, right? So now we said that let full greeting be equal to this one concat comma and 2. Now, what does that mean? It means that we are joining actually 2 or more strings together without needing the plus operator. Do you understand? It is mostly useful to make use of this forecast method when you are trying to combine multiple strings together, but may be slightly less readable than using the plus sign. Yes, that's because now, guys, now watch what happens. I said 1, that's hello. Dot concat means plus. Dot concat means plus actually. Plus comma and 2. Do you understand? Now what does that mean? Okay, let me say I create something now. I create something else, right? Let me say I say let 3 equal to, let's call it hello world. Hello world, how are you doing? Right? So let's say we have hello world, how are you doing? Right? And let me just write it out for you. I'm trying to create this. I'm trying to create hello world, right? Exclamation mark. How are you doing? a question mark, or that with an exclamation mark instead. Let's make it easier first. Okay. Now I'm trying to make this thing show on my console. Hello world, how are you doing? Right? Now we said a variable, let one is equal to hello. Good. Then let world is equal to, let two is equal to world, and let three is equal to how are you doing? Right? I'm trying to combine 1, 2, and 3 together. Now, instead of me saying 1 plus 2 plus 3, as we normally do when we are making use of the plus operator, what we just do, just say we just say 1 dot concat, that's after having 1, add all these things in this bracket. So everything in this bracket is going to be added to what? To variable 1. Do you understand? Of which in this place now I can put in anything I want to add to variable 1. Now I want to be that. Okay, now looking at what I want to produce now, I have hello world, how are you doing? Now hello is already already variable 1, right? Now I want to add a space. What do? I come here, right? I come here, I add a space first of all, of which that is right. Then I have a comma after it. What happened here? Then I have a comma after it, right? Then what next? I want an exclamation mark, right? Then I put also an exclamation mark, right? What else? How are you doing? Okay, another space. I'm correct. Okay, wait, so no. Hello, then followed by what? Followed by this space which you have here. That's this space here. Then world is 2. So I'm to put 2 here instead. Let me just clean this off and do it again. So the first thing I want is that after variable 1, which is hello, the next thing is what? This space in between hello and world. So I should put that now. A space, put comma. What else? World is what? Is variable 2. So then I will say 2 PWO, comma. Then what else? I want an exclamation mark after the word. So then I will then put an exclamation mark, comma. Then after the exclamation mark, we have another space again between how are you, which is variable 3. Then I will now put another. Then I will then put this space and then put comma as well. Sorry. Or no need for that. So let me clean this off. So guys, hope you got what I'm trying to do. Don't mind this error though. That's because this one is here. That's why we have this error. So now looking at this code, we have 1, 2, and 3, of which 1 is hello, of which 2 is what, and of which 3 is how are you doing. Now instead of me to start saying 1 plus space plus 2 plus exclamation mark plus space, do you get? All I have to just say 1 dot concat, then I will now put everything I want to add to 1 inside of this bracket that you can see here. Or which, looking at what I want to display, after having 1, which is this, which is already here, dot concat, that means plus add what? What's the next thing I want to add? I want to add this space after the variable 1, which is hello, which is this one here, comma. Then what is next? I want to add 2, which I already have here, dot comma 2. Then what else? 2 is what? World. But I want to add exclamation mark. So then I now add this one here, comma, exclamation mark. After exclamation mark, I want a space between the exclamation mark and variable 3, which is how are you doing. So then I will then have this space here that you can see right here, guys. So now let's actually console that and see if what it will bring out the correct thing that we want. Let me take this off. Okay, oh sorry, I didn't add 3 actually. I didn't add 3 here. Let me just put 3 here. Comma, let's add comma and then 3. Now let's do that again. So guys, do you see what happened? hello world, how are you doing? So just by making use of dot concat, you are able to add multiple values into your string. So it's that simple, guys. That is actually a very important and a very useful way of adding of making use of concatenation method. A very wonderful way. So you can if you want to do concatenation, you can either make use of the plus operator, or you can make use of the dot concat. And then there's a last another one, which is dot join, or rather join. That's the fourth method, guys. Let me just put that here as a comment. That's number three method is what? Join. Dot join method. So guys, this dot join method is used if you have an array of strings and you want to concatenate them into one single string with a specific operator like spaces or commas. You can make use of this join method. Now, what do I mean, guys? If you have different arrays of strings, that is different strings, and you want to add them together, all you have to just do just to add it together and say join. Now let's particularize that. And let's say what array, for example, let's what array, that's an array of words, like a multiple collection of words, is equal to, and this is an array, guys. This is an array. Anything inside this thing you are seeing here, guys, is called an array. Anything inside this is called an array. So let me continue. Array, of which array is what? Having a string of, say, hello world or hello guys. Right? And exclamation mark. Okay. And then console.log. This what array variable dot join, and then open this and then put this guy here with a space. Now this is what I'm trying to print out, guys. I'm trying to print out hello guys. Now I'm making use of the dot join method. What happens? Now I created a variable and I named it what array, of which, and then say it is equal to this array, which is hello guys. And then I said console.log this what array variable dot join. That means join it together. Do you understand? That means join it together. Sorry, I made the mistake here. I'm supposed to put comma here. And then hello. And then guys. So guys, please take note of something. These two things, in this array, we have two strings. Please take note. Now I created a variable and I named it what array, or which in the array we have string 1, which is hello, and then we have string 2, which is guys. Now I want to join these two strings together. All I have to do is to make use of the dot join method. What do? I come here console.log, I put this variable what array dot join, and then I put this space so that there will be space in between the two strings. Do you understand, guys? This join is going to join if I should remove this string now, if I should remove those strings, guys, it will be together. Let me show you. Let me just console.log this thing and put it here. They will be together. Do you see, guys, that there's no space in between the hello and the guys? But if I should put a string having the space there, then there would be a space between the hello and the guys. Copy. Do you see, guys? There's not space between it. So basically, guys, this particular dot join is, I think it is actually the easiest way to join different strings together. I think it is the easiest and the simplest way. All you have to do is just to come here, right? Come here, write everything you want in that particular sentence. And no matter how plenty it is, write them there and then just put dot join. And as simple as that, everything becomes concatenated together or joined together. So guys, that is as simple as it can go. So in this particular method, you can use to join you can use it to join different or as plenty strings as you want, just by making use of a single phrase dot join. All right, it is that simple, guys. It is that simple. All right. So common mistakes that you can make while making use of concatenation is that number one, as you start working with strings and concatenations, you might forget quotes. Always remember to enclose your strings in quotes. This is a string, guys. This is a string. A string is a word inside a quote. A string is a word inside a quote. If you don't put that word inside a quote, it is no more a string. So you should always remember to put your strings, or rather you should always enclose your words inside quotes to make them a string. If not, you encounter errors. If I'm to remove this string now, see what happens. I'm having an error. Do you see, guys? I'm having an error. But let me put it back. There's no more error. All right. So number two is to make use of inconsistent quote usage. What do I mean? Either you choose making use of this double quotes, which is this one. Sorry, that's this one, or you make use of this one. Don't use this one says, let's say I am here now and then I go and make use of this one, the single quote. I go and make use of single quote, which is this hello. Now you see that in this array, I have the first value I wrote in single quotes. That's the first string is single quote, but the second one is in double quote. It will give me an error, guys. So please, you should not have inconsistent quotes. Always make sure that if you are going to make use of single quotes, stick to it. If you are making use of double quotes, stick to it. Don't use A and use B at the same time. It will give you errors. All right. And number three is also, if you try to concatenate a string with non-string types, that means if you're trying to concatenate a string and a number, or a string and a boolean, or a string, a number, a boolean, an object, or whatsoever, when you're trying to do that, guys, JavaScript will automatically attempt to convert them all into strings. So it may not always give you what you expect. That is why it's always best to make use of this join or join method, like I said, guys. If you are using this operator, this plus operator to concatenate, and you're concatenating string plus object plus numbers plus boolean and thereabout, you might get errors. So if you want to use this particular plus operator, make sure they are the same they are the same form. So if you want to use this one, either you're concatenating, everything there is always string, like string. There's no number there, there's no boolean, there's no object, it's only string. Then you can make use of the plus operator. But if you want to concatenate string plus boolean plus number and thereabout, make use of the join method. All right, make use of the join method and not the plus operator. Okay, and then the last but not the least factor is the fact that if you concatenate an undefined variable with a string without checking its value first, it may lead to an unexpected result. Now, what do I mean? Imagine me now, I have this variable now, let1 is equal to hello. Now, this is already what we call an assigned or a defined variable. This thing you're seeing here is variable 1, right? And the variable 1 has been defined to be a string, which is hello. Okay. Now imagine I take this off, and then I'm not having an undefined string. I am going to encounter errors. All right. I am going to encounter errors when I'm trying to concatenate. So always make sure that you concatenate variables that have a defined value. All right. Always concatenate strings that have a defined value. All right. So to wrap up our class today, guys, we have learned about what strings are and how they are defined. And we've also explored how to manipulate strings using different methods, which we already have here, of which we have the to uppercase string method, to lowercase string method, string method, slice method, replace method, as well as split method. And we've also discussed different methods of concatenation, of which we have the operator method, the concat method, and the join method. So guys, I encourage you all to practice these concepts by experimenting them with your own examples in your code editor. All right, explore them, practice, 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 because practice makes perfect. And in case you have any questions or you are confused anywhere, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll do well to reply to them as soon as possible. Do have a great day, guys, and see you in the next class.